Hey guys, it's Jace. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm excited to share with you what I'm working on for my channel. This will be the first of the long series of build crafting videos focusing on Destiny 2 and the First Descendant when it comes out later this summer. In the past, I had a lot of other help from different content creators like Dakes Gaming, who helped me get some videos upwards of 15,000 views for games like Outriders. But I'm excited to have you here, and let's get into it. Today we're here to talk about the final shape and the Warlock class specifically for the best build you can run when starting the final shape campaign. One of the things I noticed immediately looking at all the new information we've been given is that there is going to be a lot of synergy by mixing and matching multiple subclasses. To start off, we're going to have access to both Stasis and the Void subclass parts of Prismatic. And if you're like me, you're going to want to be able to take on the legendary campaign without having to worry about getting slaughtered along the way. So looking over everything, and with the new onset of Frost Armor for the Stasis class, I realized that there was only one way to get 3 different buffs from 3 different subclasses all at the same time, right out the gate the moment we start the final shape. Now initially I wanted to take Nova Bomb from the Void subclass for my super, but quickly realized that if I took Winter's Wrath, I'd be able to get stacks of Frost Armor using some of the new fragments that are coming. In addition, we're going to have Devour available, which will give us healing and grenade uptime generation. So if we also pair that with a repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds weapon, like Elsie's rifle, we can get Void Overshield as well as multiple stacks of Frost Armor for damage reduction. What's going to push this over the top is using the right exotic to give us a 3rd subclass buff on demand. Our exotic of choice is going to be Karnstein Armlets, so that we can get restoration ×2 with every melee kill. For our starting aspects, we'll have Feed the Void and Bleak Watchers. I'll be choosing the Cold Snap Grenades in order to freeze enemies, and then Pocket Singularity with that 50% buff that they just gave it in order to shatter all frozen targets. Throughout the campaign, we'll be able to open up all the supers, aspects, and fragments from all the various subclasses that make up Prismatic. As soon as I can, I'll switch over to the Needlestorm super, so that I keep damage reduction with Woven Mail, but also get to use the most powerful super the Warlock has access to. Then, once Arcane Needle and Lightning Surge become available, the game is going to change completely. But in the meantime, we're focused on that first build we'll have access to right out the gate at the beginning of Final Shape. For our fragments, again, we're going to be limited in the beginning. Facet of Dawn, powered melee hits against targets make you radiant. Powered melee final blows make you and nearby allies radiant, is going to be a staple of pretty much any build I put together. Facet of Hope, while you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly, will be beneficial, although I may change that one out for some other options as we unlock them. Facet of Protection, while surrounded by enemies you are more resistant to incoming damage, will also be a solid choice, as it should stack with Frost Armor or Woven Mail. Facet of Purpose is the main reason that I'll be starting off with Winter's Wrath super. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Amplified, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or an Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. Because I can use weapons with Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds to gain Void Overshields, it only makes sense to take Winter's Wrath so that I can get that 22.5% damage reduction from Frost Armor, which is really going to help out in all the harder content. Add in on top of that the Karnstein Armlets in order to get restoration, plus your Void Overshields, and we should be fairly tanky. And lastly, Facet of Ruin. This increases the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target, and increases the size of solar ignitions. This one's going to be great, and it's also the reason that I'm choosing to take the Cold Snap Grenades. You can also use Bleak Watcher, but again, I'll probably end up using that less and less as I open more options up. But in the meantime, a Cold Snap Grenade or Bleak Watcher turret will freeze targets. And Facet of Ruin is going to allow that melee burst from Pocket Singularity to cause a much bigger AoE explosion, hopefully taking out larger and larger chunks of ads. I'll be going into more detail about the full build with armor mod choices and seasonal mod options once the game launches next Tuesday. I'm very excited about everything I'm putting together, and I think I've got a lot of really cool builds that are going to come together from this. If you enjoyed this content, give it a like, leave me a comment. It's the first time self-editing video content, so I appreciate the patience while I figure it all out. Thanks guys, talk soon.